Hello, good morning. Oh, um, what's up? It was kind of fun yesterday. I'm not sure what happened to the stream yesterday. When I got back into my YouTube studio, it was still there and I had to delete it to create this new one. So yeah, no idea. Anyways, I made a video yesterday on how we refactor authentication. And it was super fascinating because like the first day got almost 500 views or something. That's very rare for me when I put stuff out there. So there seems to definitely be some interest in the tool itself and those trails of thought. So that's really cool. Anyways, so what I thought we could do today, we kind of want to start testing our authentication, see if anything happens. And to do that, I really want to be able to like fire up the app and actually like click sign in from the editor. Currently, you have to change it to an action. And I want to talk about that as well. What does that mean when a method becomes an action? But first, let's try to fire up the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hello. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have hello world, and now, yeah, we can see that our navigator has gotten some runtime data. You can see the current state is home. And our current context is that we have an instance of home there. Cool. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to actually, yeah, so we don't, currently home doesn't have access to auth, so I guess we want to do that first. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine like the UI for this. Yeah, so what we would typically do here, we would have like home, and home would use like a component for like the sign-in part, and then that component would need to access the auth. So that would need to happen through home. So let's connect that feature to home. And currently home has this render method, which is why we see hello world here. And this is a very experimental implementation of this tool, is that you can actually produce UI from it. And the reason it's there is because of performance. So sometimes you really just want to go low level, but you don't want to do everything manually. So the view capability of a feature is basically to create static templates, and then you write imperative logic, much like jQuery, which has like observable methods to create dynamic behavior or reactive behavior in that static template. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about us actually running this thing. And what's interesting now is that we are not actually accessing auth in any way. So it's not like being instantiated, which is why we don't see anything here. So what would typically happen here is that we would actually access auth through home in like a component, and that's when it would actually instantiate, I think. Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. How do you like access these backend services from like components and stuff? But I have thought about it. But I'm going on to other paths here. We're actually going to try to test this auth thing, and to do that, we actually have to access it so that it's actually instantiated. So maybe we can. Yeah, I'm thinking about how would I actually access it. Well, we could, yeah, okay. Now I know how we're going to access it. We're going to go to home and we're going to play around with our static template there. And we are going to actually create a button there that will use the auth to sign in. And this is interesting because the auth isn't really there until you click the button, which is interesting. Anyways, which means it could be asynchronously loaded as well. That's actually quite powerful. I haven't thought about that. We can actually make these features, like these features are dependencies, and currently they're synchronously loaded. But it would be possible to asynchronously load them. That's fascinating. Okay, something to look at later. But anyways, let's change this thing. Hello world. Yeah, I'm not sure what this error is. I've seen it a few times, so we can look at that later. Oh, what happened now? Didn't it update? Oh, I didn't save. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, sorry, it's still hello world, sorry. Log in. There we go, there we have it. Yeah, what's also cool about this view capability is that it supports hot reloading. That's also pretty cool. So it has this, what's it called in React? Fast refresh or something. It has the same capability. Anyways, so what we want to do is we want to, when we click that button, we want to fire up the auth flow. So that's like a dynamic behavior. So what we do is that, how was this? Is it like this? You can say button, event, click, I think. Yeah. This.auth sign in. Yeah, I think that's it. So I wonder what happens now. Let's take a look. So we are here. I click it. Kind of read property mix-ins of undefined. Okay, so it did go to authenticating. That's pretty cool. So it did actually fire it up and went into authenticating, but then we got on sign-in requested, auth get. Oh, I think we have a feature that doesn't have the mix-ins. Maybe that's some old stuff. Let's check that. Because all these classes needs to have defined mix-ins feature. I wonder if I can see where it is. Environment. Okay, doesn't the environment have? It does have. That's interesting. Okay. So it says that this environment does not have. So I'm trying to get environment, and then it uses a class key. Let's see. Environment. Oh, wait, I think I know what it is. You remember we were in here and it wasn't adding the all the things because there was a bug while we were doing this stuff. And then, yeah, anyways, I believe it's fixed now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and it even gave the pop-up. That's great. Home. Yeah, but there's definitely something wrong here. Let's see. Now we're home. I'm clicking login. Oh, I know why. Because it fires up It's not supposed to show this, right? It's supposed to show the authentication page. But since we're like using localhost there, it shows the same page, and then it contacts. It's like a fresh start of the application. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is not good. Yeah, this is like, it doesn't matter what tool this is. This is like a problem, because what happens here is that when we fire up the pop-up, it actually loads up the whole application again, because it goes to a different route. But is that how it's supposed to work? Maybe we do this. Yeah, let me check. I can't remember how. Start fast. I can't remember how this actually works. So if we go to localhost 3000, we can try to log in. Oh my god. Already in use? By what? By what? By what? I guess it's one of these things. Yeah, maybe we can just check it on stream. If I remember correctly. Well, I think we can see it no matter. Let's see. Let me sign out. And then I say sign in with GitHub. Yeah, exactly. That's interesting. It actually loads up the whole application to do that authentication. Well, not the whole application, because we're asynchronously loading pieces based on the route. Well, kinda. We are asynchronously loading components, but we're not asynchronously loading the logic, because the router is part of the components instead of the logic, and then it becomes difficult to asynchronously load the logic. Okay, so this is not going as well as I hoped. We have to think about, but maybe we can rather talk about what we intend to do, and then I'll try to think about an approach to, because we have to introduce a router first here to deal with this stuff. And then also, yeah, so I guess we can't really track. Like, what I wanted to see is that when we go through the flow, I would like to see everything happening here. But since the pop-up actually loads like the same application, that application will actually, well, I know what we can do. I know what we can do. Where are we? So here we can say and no window parent, right? Let's try again with this change. So we don't activate the dev tool if we have a parent. That should work. Okay, so we're here. Oh, now we're not even getting the initial. Does this have a window parent? It does. Oh, sorry. How do we detect? Oh, opener. Oh wait, I think it's parent, but it's like, and window parent, not like it's not window. I think that's how we do it. No. There we go. Okay, opener. And if I click login now. No, shit, the same thing happened. What the hell? How do I detect if there's a pop-up? Yeah. Window parent is not equal to window. I wonder. Okay, but let's just open the pop-up again, and then... But here it says, what the fudge? Window.parent equals window. True. Oh, sorry. It's me, you know, these conditionals there. Okay, so if I click login here now, it still fires up. So why the hell does it do that? Okay. Okay, there, window opener. Oh, that's also false. How the hell do I detect this? Okay, there it's null, at least. And then there it is. Okay. And no window opener. Cool. Let's try again. So we're home, we're clicking login. There we go. It's authenticating. And if I close this, it's still authenticating for some reason. That's weird though. Anyways, okay, so we got that working. That's good. So we can continue tracking our logic. That should probably be part of the tool, so that if you have pop-ups, they don't hijack the editor. Maybe we should just add that right away. I think that's somewhere in the backend files manager. Here we go, and no window opener. There we go. Cool. So what I actually wanted to talk about, but now maybe we should do that tomorrow, because now we're kind of deep into this stuff. So what I wonder now, why didn't this change? I closed the window, and I actually expected it to... The close promise, pop-up close promise. Open pop-up. If pop-up on close. I wonder if this even fires. I'm just going to check that to see if it actually fires. Closing pop-up. Cool, login. No, it's not firing. Do we even have a pop-up here? We do. But we're not getting any on close. What if we add an event listener instead? Add event listener close. Let's see, we have to create a listener, which then removes that listener. You know, this is how you add listeners. Should put them outside, and then you actually remove them as they're called. Login. Well, did something happen? No, it's not being fired. Why is it not being fired? Huh. JS pop-up close event not fired. You gotta love Stack Overflow. Oh, on before unload. Is that the thing? Can I do that? No, that's not firing either. Oh, sorry. What? No, that's not firing. What the why can't I? Timer? Yeah, is this thing using this? After it is open? Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know about this. So we have to actually... Okay, let's do this inline. So pop-up on load, pop-up on unload. Okay. Well, this is on before unload, but we don't care about that. Console log blah. Huh, interesting. Okay, and we're back to unauthenticated. That's good. So our logic is actually working. It was this piece of shit that didn't work. We have to register this after it is loaded, which is kind of interesting because the user might close the pop-up before it's loaded and then it's not registered. Seriously, this can't be the way to do it. Yeah, I think actually the set interval is the best way to do it. Because it's cross origin and it doesn't matter if, like, it doesn't have to wait for the content to load. Like there might be like some service timeout there, which is the reason they closed it, right? And then they try again, and then they're still in the authenticating state, and then it won't open again, right? This is so interesting. I think we should do this. If pop-up, we are going to set if pop-up, then we're going to do close resolver, but then it takes like, we can check it quite often. Yeah. Okay, so let's try this instead. So this is the proper way to do it, I think. As I said, like if they open it and for some reason the page doesn't load, they can still close it and this will trigger, which is important. Or we will be in an invalid state. And we're back to unauthenticated. Great. That's what we wanted. Okay, cool. Okay, so this stream didn't go exactly as I planned, but at least we have the possibility now to trigger a sign-in through the UI. And it's kind of interesting that since this is dependency injection, we actually have to access auth in our logic before we can actually execute something on it. Because I wanted to like click sign in here. But maybe that isn't such a Yeah, it's interesting. Like, so we could maybe, yeah, that's also interesting. Like we could say, like you could like click it and just create an instance, given that it's a singleton and not a factory. Well, interesting stuff. Okay, I don't think we're going to do more right now because I didn't get that much sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't get back to sleep, so I slept in a little bit. So I'm going to get to work. But yeah, tomorrow we need to look at the router because we need a new page. We need the auth page. I thought that page was something that we would use production for that. Let's take a look. I didn't think we kind of like internally sign in, run provider. No, it's using the location origin. Yeah, then we have auth dev, and that's like, where do we see this? Index. This is some old stuff. Router. Oh, sorry. App. Auth. Where's auth dev? Auth site auth dev. Dev auth page. Okay, this is interesting. Base sign-in domain. Yeah, because I do think we are... Oh, this is very interesting. I think we can actually improve on this even more. Because for some reason, this actually loads page to do the login. But we can actually just access. Because we're not using localhost, we are actually using Codesandbox IO production, because it's the production. We're connected to the production environment when we develop, which might sound like a bad thing, but it's working for us. So we could make our auth, we could improve our auth flow even more, so that you don't even need the pop-up. I think. Because we just need to, let's see how this works. Please enter the token you get from, and this is like a, how does this work? Set auth code. Get JVT token. But this is... Okay, please enter the token you get from... Oh yeah, no, you have to okay, so... Oh, I remember now. It's not only one pop-up, it's another pop-up. So we open a pop-up where we're going to insert the auth key, but we get that by opening yet another. But I think we could improve this. So instead of like doing this, we could just go and grab, we could open a pop-up to this specific CLI login URL. Yeah, we could open a pop-up there. And then that will, yeah, how would this work? No, we kind of need this because we need to, even though we open this, we only get the key. And then yeah, I guess it needs to work this way. But yeah, the thing is we don't have this component. We don't have this component in our, like I haven't even set up React yet. So what should we do tomorrow? Should we set up a router? I'm eager to do state first routing because we're using component routing in React with React Router, and it doesn't work for us. We really need to hit our state management first when we make route changes so that we can prepare data and do side effects related to routing instead of that happening inside components. And then the components will just reflect the current page. Thinking. Okay, let's do routing. Let's set up React tomorrow. Let's set up a router, and let us actually set up this route. And we can take a look at this logic maybe. I'm just thinking, do we actually need that much UI for this? Well, we need to insert a token somewhere. Maybe we can, yeah. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Okay, let me think about this until tomorrow. I can't decide. But yeah, I really want to get the sign-in to work so that we can start fetching other data from Codesandbox, and we can explore like the sandbox more and other concepts. But we need this login thing to work first. But I thought maybe we could improve it from the way it works now. But I'm not really sure. Well, what we can do is that instead of this, yeah, maybe let's do that. We'll set up React and a router tomorrow, because then we can also see how are we actually going to expose our application to the components. That's a good way to think about it. Yes, and I also want to think about this async loading of dependencies, so that you can like, maybe that could be even be a capability. Async. Yeah, that would be very interesting, because we already do specific things by looking at the capabilities. So for example, a factory actually makes it not a singleton instance. It doesn't create an instance. It returns a function that creates instances instead. So we could just give it a capability of being async or lazy. And what would happen then is it would return a promise or something. Or something. We'll see. I'll think about that. That would be super interesting. Anyways, thanks for following along. Have a nice day. And sorry, this didn't go exactly as I wanted today, but I hope you found some of it interesting, and let's talk more tomorrow. Bye for now.